subscribe to Major Music TV. It's your boy D Dot. Just coming at y'all this week. Before we get into the topic, go ahead, hit the like button down there, subscribe, or if you're watching this on Instagram, hit me with a follow, and I'll hit you with a follow back. And if this is your first time watching, I do things like beat making videos, talk about some of the gear and some of the software that I use. If there's anything that you guys see me using on, maybe Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, if you're following me on there as well, let me know if you have any questions about it, and I'll do a video on it as well. This video today is going to be about the MPC One. I've gotten a chance to use it for about a week now, and give some of my thoughts. We see you using Machine Micro a lot. Why did you go and purchase the MPC One? Reason I purchased the MPC One, story about me is probably around 2007 or so, I actually had the MPC 2000 XL, and I used that for a couple of years, and I also had an iMac around that time. What happened was, I woke up one morning, went to turn on my iMac, and it didn't work anymore. So all I had at that point was the MPC, and with losing my iMac, I also lost my ability to record. At the time, I was working on a mixtape, so I had to end up selling my MPC in order to buy another Mac. And I kind of regret doing it, but I had to do it in order to finish my project. But fast forward to 2020, I got the MPC One, and another reason that I got the MPC One is I'm also getting more into hardware. As some of you probably saw, I use the Uno synth and the Uno drum synth. That's gonna be my first actual hardware synthesizers. Before that, I've never really owned any hardware. Now, I'm still going to use everything equally. I feel like different workflows allow me to create a little differently. I might get a certain vibe when I'm working with the MPC or when I'm working with Machine, opposed to making something on my iPad and Beatmaker 3 or Chord Gadget. They all have pros and cons. One of the other reasons, I could have bought another Mac as well. That's something I'll probably do later on this year, because this one's the one that I have here is about 7 years old, and it still runs Machine pretty good. It still runs Logic pretty well. The only thing, sometimes when I start to run a lot of plugins, it could start to slow down, or I may have to restart it sometimes. So yeah, it's kind of getting at the end of that life cycle. After my first week of using the MPC One, some of the questions that I've gotten, I know some of you see me post the picture when I've gotten it. If you follow me on Instagram, can you use this with the software? And the answer is yes, you can. You can use it either standalone, as I said earlier, or you can use it with the software as well. I won't speak on using it with the MPC program as of yet, because I haven't actually gotten a chance to use it as of yet. I've just only been using it just standalone by itself. Now, one of the things, if you do decide to purchase the MPC One, you're going to want to get yourself one of these SD cards, or you're going to want to get yourself a flash drive. For example, that's actually a 64 gig SD card right here, and then I also have a 128 gig flash drive that I use with it. Now, the reason I have both, the flash drive, I may take that out sometimes, so I actually kind of have my kits in both places, but I might save more of my projects on the flash drive because it's a larger capacity than on my SD card here, because only half the capacity that my flash drive is. But the reason that I don't save it mainly on the flash drive is to leave that USB port available, because you can also use that with a MIDI keyboard. Now, I haven't tried it, but some people said they've used it with a hub. They've used their flash drive, their MIDI keyboard, and their MPC One all connected to a hub. I haven't tried it yet, but eventually I'll give it a shot and I'll let you know what I come up with. I also like that on MPC One you can do real-time sample chopping. I currently use the Machine Micro, and I've been a micro user probably since the previous generation. One of the things that they've taken away from the Machine Micro was the real-time sample chopping. Alright, so right here, I got them side by side, Machine Micro, and you got your MPC One right here. Now, as far as the pads, I do like the pads a little bit more on the Micro because they're a little bit bigger, as you can see here. But I mean, we take a look here at the MPC One, it's not bad either. I mean, if you've used all the previous models, they'll feel very similar to that. That wasn't a deal breaker for me, in other words. Also, from using the 2000 XL, I feel like I was able to jump right back into the MPC One. Took me probably about, as I said, about a week to feel comfortable with using it. To me, the layout is very similar to the 2000 XL. I like the fact that they kept a lot of the same buttons and the same layout. Alright, so now we have it turned over here so you can get a good look at the inputs and the outputs. Right here you can see both input and output left and right, and you got your master volume and your recording volume right here. MIDI, in, out. I like the fact also that there's the Kensington lock here. This is your USB out right here, USB in. Got the link, I think it's for like Ableton link. I haven't actually used this, so I couldn't really speak too much on it. And then of course your power and the similar on off button right here. It's kind of been around for generations. You can also see right here, there's the SD card slot, and you actually have a headphone port right on the front panel of the MPC One, so I like the idea of that. Though it does not have a internal battery, kind of portable in a way. I mean, let's say you're traveling and you go somewhere and you want to kind of bang out, you could just put on your headphones right there and get to work. So I like the fact there's a headphone jack on the front panel. Now when you power it on, this is kind of how it starts up here. Boots up the MPC software. That is also going to be available like on the MPC Live and a couple of the other models. And then from there, you have templates, you have demos, and then you have a section for empty projects. You know, if you want to see anything more in depth with this in terms of topics, please let me know, and I'll do videos on, you know, whatever requests you guys have. So now I do have the MPC right next to my Arturia Mini Lab. I also use my Mini Lab with my iPad. This is kind of my iPad / MPC area, or actually I think I'm giving this up to the MPC for now. And I could probably use my iPad at my other workstation right next to this. So overall, I do like having the MPC One. I don't regret buying it at all. Feels good to, you know, just do something a little bit different. I've been using, so if you've been following me for a while, I've primarily been using Machine for about 10 years now, maybe a little bit longer, and then Logic Pro a little bit in between. And then some of you probably saw recently I got into like iPad production probably within the last 2 to 3 years, and I'm a little bit everywhere. So if you ever see anything that, you know, in one of my beat making videos that you have any questions about, leave a comment, let me know. Also follow me on Instagram at @d_majormusic, and I'll hit you with a follow back. And keep banging out. I appreciate you if you made it this far to the end of this video. Until next time.